And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and I last year reviewed a game, Nidavellir, which is actually, it was only in French-English overseas. It's coming out in America this year. Wonderful game. If you watch my top 100, you see that this placed fairly high in that. Love this card drafting game. Well, there's an expansion now for it called Thingvellir. I don't know what the name means, but this adds some more leaders, adds basically a mercenary camp that you can draft mercenaries and artifacts from, and that's it. A very small, easy to incorporate expansion, my favorite kind, but I still might not like it. Let's find out. In this game, this is like part of the normal game here, and at the top you're going to put the new tavern. The tavern is split into level 1 and level 2 cards. You're going to shuffle those and put them out, and there's two different types of cards that are going to be in the camp. There are artifact cards and there are mercenary cards. Mercenary cards are very simple. When you get one of these cards, it's going to be one of two different types, one of two different colors. So this can be an orange one, or there's another purple card. When you take it, you can immediately assign it. You know, you might want to finish a row of a color, or you can wait till the end of an age to assign it, and whoever has the most mercenaries can decide whether they'll assign first or last. That especially matters at the end of the first age. The artifacts do all sorts of different things. So for example here, this artifact here gives you 6 points at the end of the game for every coin that you have that's a value of 15 or more. This one here, the Savant, gives you 5 points for each hero card that you have at the end of the game. And there are many, many different artifacts in the game, all different types. Some of them, oh, that's a mercenary card that's snuck in there somehow. But there are different artifacts, and they're all going to be usually different ways to score, or they might even give you a special ability. And the game does come with reference cards that explain what each of the artifacts do. Now, how do you get these cards? Well, it works like this. Whoever wins each of these taverns here, each of these inns, so let's say I'm the winner here. I have the highest coin bid, so I get to go first. Instead of taking one of these cards, I can take one of these. If I don't take one of these cards, instead I really want the 7 blue, for example, well then no one's going to get one from this. So up to 3 of these cards can be taken each round. And then at the end of the round, new ones will be added. And during age 2, you'll take them away and put out the age 2 artifacts and mercenaries. There's also more neutral heroes added to the mix, and some of them have to do with coins. Like, she adds 2 to every time you get a new coin for the rest of the game. So if I have a 5 and a 1 coin, instead of taking a 6, I'm now going to get an 8. Zolkar, the next time you take coins, let's say again I have that 5 and the 1 coin, I still get the 6 coin, but instead of discarding the 5, I discard the 1. And Crad here, he gives you 10 to your lowest value coin. Holdo lets you take a card from the camp. I erroneously called this the tavern. It's the camp. And she lets you take a card from the discard pile. And this gentleman here comes with his 2 followers who can go to any row, which is going to basically let you take another leader, probably. Because even though they're zeros and everything, they can fit pretty much anywhere. So it's kind of a neat thing. And this gives more diversity to the different kinds of heroes you can pick from. There's a new scoring pad, takes the place of the old one. It is essentially the same thing. It just has a row for the different artifacts that you might get. There's also these little tokens here. These are used to put on a mercenary. Let's say you only have 1 mercenary out in a column, and this just, you want to put it out there, you can put this token on her so people know that you're playing with that mercenary, or these, these guys here, just to show what they are if they're in a row by themselves. Once they're in a row with somebody else, they're fine. The artwork and the cards and everything are the same as the original game, but most importantly, they fit in the base box. So just put them all in one big bag so you know what the new stuff is, and it's really easy to throw it in. In fact, I can teach this with the base game and nobody would really know the difference. Of course I like it. What a fantastic little expansion. This is exactly the kind of expansion I want. First of all, more leaders are great. This is the kind of game where they could say, we have 10 new leaders. Now, yes, granted, more leaders makes the game possibly slow down as you just say, wow, there's so many leaders to pick from. I suppose you could fix that by just saying, shuffle all the leaders, draw 6. But you might want that very specific leader that matches one of your colors. But these new leaders are fun. I like the ones that deal with money. It's fun to get big coins and lots of coins. And so that's kind of a neat thing to have. But that's just kind of icing on the cake. The mercenary camp is really well done. You want to win sometimes, not because you want the first pick of cards, but because you want to go to that mercenary camp. Getting a mercenary is very versatile. You can put them in 2 different columns. That's fantastic. But getting the artifacts, there's some really neat artifacts, and they can kind of give you that boost. Artifacts are like a lesser leader, but they're easier to get than leaders. And I like that. Now, I mean, I don't think the iconography on both the leaders and the artifacts is very clear. You're going to need those reference cards for sure, kind of like, what does this do, what does this do? But I didn't find that to be that big of a problem at all. But that would be my one minor thing. Other than that, like I said, this is fantastic. It fits in the original box, so I no longer need that. I just can stick it all in a bag and put it in a box. And for me, when I'm playing, I always play with it because there's not much more to teach. You know, again, if you win, you can take one of these cards or take the card from Mercenary Camp. And the mercenaries barely need any explaining at all. They can go in 2 different columns, okay? And then the artifacts, you just explain each one of them as they come out. And it adds just more diversity, more interesting choices to a game that I already love. So, fantastic. If you like the game, you want to get this expansion. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment, excellent.